Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin and I feel like I haven't made a video in ages because we've had a really busy week while my kids have been off for half term, and we've been up to a lot of like Halloween activities, and I just keep kind of thinking about making a video and then something happens and I don't get to. So yeah, sorry I kind of disappeared for a while. Just wanted to share with you what we've been doing over the half term break, so I'll add in some clips at the end so you can have a look at our adventures. And I actually feel like one of the best things we did was only £3, and it was last Monday. We went swimming like at our usual place, and it's in like an old-fashioned like Victorian baths building, and they like renovated it, so like part of the building is kind of preserved as it was for tours, and then the other part is like modernized, but they've tried to keep the same kind of aesthetics. And they did like a vampire and bat hunt for kids, so you went through like the old baths, which were quite creepy, and there was like a vampire sitting in a bath. They had these cubicles with individual baths in them, because I wondered how that worked. I thought people just all went to the pool, but I guess there were individual baths to wash in. And there was a vampire sitting in the bathtub, and my daughter opened the door and he shouted like something about not having any privacy, and we all kind of jumped. So it was fun, and it was simple, like we just looked for bats and vampires, but there was something kind of creepy about the feel of it, and it was really cold and kind of old-fashioned, and we were the only ones doing it at the time, and my kids really enjoyed it. And then we entered their raffle at the end, so I don't think we've won it, but we usually are really lucky with raffles, so I can't complain. And even though we didn't win the raffle, I went to the parents like quiz night for my daughter's school. It's kind of like a pub quiz. It's held in a bowling club, like, and my partner and I go every year, and it's really fun. We didn't win anything from the raffle, but we were sharing a table with a couple who won tickets to the jazz club, and they hated jazz and they found out I liked it, so they gave us the tickets. But my partner doesn't like jazz either, so I'm going with my mom this Friday. So that was nice, getting free tickets to the jazz club. And yeah, this week it's just like, it's been one of those weeks where we have something organized every day, whether it's like meeting up with friends or like going to an event. And I actually wanted to talk a bit about when you spend money and you regret it, because I feel like we did have an example of that over Halloween. Usually every year we go to the same pumpkin patch, and it's on a smaller scale, like farm, and we do that on purpose because even though we live like across the road from a farm that does their own pumpkin patch, it's really expensive, and I just like wanted to find something that was kind of less obvious, and I liked the way they did it before. Like, it was quite quirky, and I've always liked their little haunted house tent. Like, they have this kind of like greenhouse that they do up like a haunted house, and my kids always enjoy going into it. But I don't know if it's just that my kids have got older now and it suddenly is too young for them, but we went along and I felt like it was very underwhelming, and it was like quite expensive because it was like £45 for all of us to go. So it was kind of like our event of the season, like, but I felt like it wasn't actually worth the money, because last year there was more for them to do, and they'd actually got rid of the bouncy castle for like kind of older kids and replaced it with 2 toddler ones. And they also got rid of the pumpkin smash, which my partner really enjoyed doing, where you hit old like rotten pumpkins with a bat. Last year he really enjoyed that, and it just felt like we couldn't fill the time because it was a 3-hour session. We left after an hour and a half, and it just felt like there wasn't really a lot to do. So it was kind of disappointing, and then it made me think I would rather have saved the money and maybe done more than one activity with it, or done something creative ourselves. And like the Templemore Baths one, I felt like it was more fun, and it was so simple and cheap. So sometimes it's not worth like the expense, and I did actually deliberate a lot before I booked it and decided to go for it because it had become like a little family tradition. But next year I'm going to look for something else to do instead, and it's also not dog friendly, so we couldn't bring Potato, which is kind of sad. I've booked the Santa Paws event in my partner's work for him at Christmas time, so he gets to go see Santa and we all get to go with him, and it's not very expensive and it's just like a fun, kind of funny outing. I made myself a pumpkin spice latte, not with my own syrup this time. I actually feel like my own syrup didn't work out so well this time. I think I used a different recipe and it was like there was a lot of sediment in the bottom and I strained it, but it just didn't seem to work as well. But I found I was in B&M the other day with my kids to get something we needed, which I can't remember, and I saw that they had pumpkin spice syrup and gingerbread syrup, so I decided to get one of each so I can make seasonal lattes at home much more cheaply than going out to a cafe. And it's like cheaper for a large bottle of syrup than it is for a single cup of coffee with that in it in a coffee shop, so it just makes sense. And I actually like the kind of coziness and the peace of going home and having coffee, like, instead of the frantic pace of like going into a busy coffee shop. So yeah, I'm saving coffee shop visits for rare treats. I'm trying to be really good at the minute, especially with Christmas coming up, and thinking like about what I want to get people. And I feel like that is a good activity to do when you have free time, is to work out how can I do Christmas on a budget and what can I maybe make like handmade in terms of gifts, and what can I find maybe secondhand that's like it's more of a unique gift or maybe even better quality than something just bought new off a really obvious website. So on Saturday we also went to see Back to the Future in the cinema, and that was like well worth it. Like, it was the 40th anniversary of the film coming out, and when I was a kid it was my favourite movie, and I watched it so many times that my dad literally taped over the video because he said it was becoming an unhealthy obsession, and he taped it. I had like taped it off the TV and he taped over it with football, and I was devastated. I still remember putting the tape in and like football coming on instead and just wanting to cry. But there was something special about seeing it on a big screen because I never had before, and it just is such a nostalgic movie for me, and I just really love it. And my kids, I had tried to watch it with them ages ago and they wouldn't sit for it, like to wait and get into the plot. But because we were in the cinema, like they had to sit, and they actually really enjoyed it, and they've been asking to watch the sequels since. So yeah, I've just been trying to find kind of like pockets of quiet in the busy week. We had a little Halloween party with my parents, just like the 6 of us, and we went trick-or-treating, and like I don't know why, but just like squeezing in lots of social things, like although I enjoyed at the time, it leaves me feeling drained afterwards. So I have been making a lot of time to read and crochet and just like have quiet evenings. I think it's really important to have evenings in the house where you can just chill out, and I've been doing my yoga a lot and working on crafts and things like that. I have another dress I want to make. I actually find it kind of stressful making stuff from scratch, like dresses wise and stuff on the sewing machine. Like, I like doing sewing projects, but I prefer making things, I think, through crochet and doing like handmade stuff, like hand stitched stuff. So I'll see what happens. I'll see how this one works out, but I do feel like sewing is one of those things where when it comes to making things on the machine, it just doesn't come easily to me. Like, it's a bit of a struggle and I'm never completely happy with the results. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get some things done in the house. I'm trying to clear out my daughter's rooms while they're not here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you soon. Bye.